since I'm looking in that direction.
Question for Mr. Herman. What would you like our audiences to take away from this film? And how would you like this film to be remembered?
I think I've already said that what I'd like to take away, certainly kids, is a recognition of the madness of racism and prejudice. It doesn't necessarily apply to World War II, but to today as well. Well, thank you for the question. So go here and upstairs.
I have two questions. One for Mr. Boyne. What inspires someone from the UK to write about the Holocaust in general? And the other, I'm sorry, I forgot your name, the gentleman who was such an incredible actor. Thank you. I'm sorry, I'm not good with names. I'm so incredibly impressed with the amount of time you spent researching your character. How did it affect you personally, on a personal level? So, two questions.
Well, to clarify, I'm Irish.
Sorry. I'm American. Everybody else is not American.
I understand the Canadians don't. I don't think it's got anything to do with being Irish or being not Jewish, as I'm not Jewish. I was always very interested in the subject matter of the Holocaust. I was quite a serious student of Holocaust-related literature. I think one of the reasons that books continue to be written and films continue to be made about this subject is because each one is an attempt to find an answer to it. And there are no answers, there are only questions. It's been said of the novelist, and the role of the novelist isn't to find answers but to pose the questions better. So it just came from the fact that, you know, I'm human, and I had a story I thought I could tell. It's as simple as that, to be honest.
You did a great job.
Thank you.
The question, how did it
affect you during the filming, personally? How were you able to go home at night and divorce yourself from the character?
Well, it was curious because it was kind of the other way around. It was the going home at night, well, to a hotel in Budapest at night. That's when I did the work. That's when I was doing the research. And very dark and heavy research it was, as I said. It got to its darkest when I watched a documentary called Night and Fog, a wonderful French documentary which contains footage of what the Russians shot at the liberation of Auschwitz, scenes of such grotesque and graphic nature that I don't think it's very often, it's all shown these days on TV. And I recoiled in horror at what I was seeing, but I thought since my job as playing the commandant, the Nazi, was not to feel any empathy for the Jews, I have that obviously myself. I was trying to understand a man who was capable of kissing his own children in the morning and killing children of another race in the afternoon. So I was trying to desensitize myself and watch this footage and not feel repulsed as I, David, naturally did, and see if there's anything that, as I would normally do with a character, and try and immerse myself in it to the point where I can understand something about them, no matter how malevolent they are, and see if there's something in me that can relate to them. And I did that over and over. I watched this particular piece of footage over and over and over to see if that was possible. Inevitably, it wasn't possible, and I did what I could anyway. But that's as much as I could do. And why I say it's the reverse is that actually, when I went to work, that was actually quite a pleasurable time. We all had quite a special time making the film. We were all very good friends. There was a lot of bonding on the film. So actually my darker parts came in the evening.
I must say you were brilliant.
Thank you. I would just say, in answer to that question, that we'd all, every department has been doing a research before the film. Myself, the screenwriter, the designer, every department had been to some very dark places in research. So by the time the
shooting came along, we're actually very, very keen to put that to bed, put those dark places to bed, and to actually have quite a light-hearted shoot. It's very important to me that the crew and the cast had a good time making this. Sounds odd, but had a good time making this film. That's always been the case on every film I've made. I know that Steven Spielberg said on Schindler's List he allowed 2 jokes every day, but that wouldn't have got us to the breakfast bus. And it's very important, especially with the kids, that we didn't all wander around suicide.
I'm going to sneak a question in here because it reminded me of something I heard. Was the mood of the set any different when you actually shot in the concentration camp and shot the final scenes than it was in the rest of the film?
Well, we always knew that the mood on that day was going to be difficult, and that's why we moved it to the end of the schedule. But the very last day of the shoot was the final gas chamber scenes, because we knew it was going to be tough. I mean, you're always emotional anyway on the final day of the shoot, but to have that scene added to the emotion, it was quite hard. It did give the kids time to prepare for that final day, and there's a lot of parental help as well, just to prepare them for that shoot.
Hi, up here. Okay. Question for Mr. Herman. How, can you see me?
Oh, no.
Up here.
No,
how did you help the young boy playing Bruno keep the powerful feeling of innocence all the way to the final scene?
Simply by not telling him anything. Didn't give anything away. But it was very important in the audition process that it's not my job to tell them anything about the Holocaust. That's stuff for the parents and schools. But it was crucial that we asked them what they knew about the Holocaust. And, all those kids were between the ages of 8 and 12, and obviously their take on the Holocaust was quite sketchy. But in Asia's case, it's quite a naive take on the Holocaust. It's very important and useful in the film, but they stayed that way. I mean, he obviously read the book, he read the script, and he knew what he was doing, but I think the wider issues he wasn't fully aware of, and that actually helped the performance.
Talked about what I was going to ask you, but what were the ages of the 2 boys? And I guess based on what you just told us, what were any concerns that the parents had for their children once they knew the film was going to be of this nature?
Well, Jack was basically his age, and Asa was 10. The parents were fully aware of the book and the screenplay, knew exactly what we were asking of the children, and there was never any problem. I think Asa's parents saw it as there were other films happening that